What's up, guys? Ooh, this is Tongue Fungus here. I am Nico. This is
Matt.
This is
Matt.
This is
Matt.
And we are
Tongue Fungus.
Fat. We're fat. And we're Tongue Fungus as well.
I thought you.
Doesn't matter. We're gonna go with it. Today, guys, we got a special, very special video for you guys. What is it, Matt?
We're talking.
What is it, Matt?
We're talking.
What is it, Matt?
We're talking about cop stories.
We promised you guys a cop story in episode 1, and today we're gonna give it. First, we're gonna give our cop story that we're gonna do together, and then we have a very special guest coming in. We told you guys, we promised you he'd be here. Bam, that's today. That's on today's episode. It's gonna be it's gonna be what? It's gonna be what?
What?
It's gonna be today.
Today, yeah. But first, please smash that like button.
Subscribe.
Yes.
All of it. Subscribe, like, comment, do all of it. We're gonna give you guys some time to do that, and take your time on it. We'll wait.
Now that we gave you enough time, let's get into the story.
Let's get into it. All right, guys. This story takes place what? 10 years ago.
10 years
Wow.
ago. Me, Nico, and our friends Brian and Teddy, we got out of school. We were walking down to Aramingo Avenue to a dollar store or Dollar Tree or whatever. I had a whole bunch of money on me. We ended up walking down the main road, and then there was a second route which was behind the train tracks. We walked down the main route at first, and we got to the dollar store. We bought big old bag of markers, like a big giant bag of markers. Like I spent $30, $40 on markers.
Right?
Yeah, I spent a lot of money on markers. We all divided up all the markers to where we evenly had an amount. We still had a big giant bag full of markers.
At the time, we were really big into graffiti and stuff. We were all like trying to tag Brian, who's a friend of ours. He's actually the guy that's going to be collabing with us on the next art project we're going to be doing. Him and also his brother Teddy, but to get back into it. And on the way back, to go back to Brian and Teddy's house, there's a train track, and it takes you right down to Aramingo. It goes kind of like in the Bridesburg, in that area, and we decided, hey, you know, we're gonna tag on the trains. Fluffy over here didn't want to do anything. He was terrified of the whole ordeal.
Yeah, so we're walking down. I was chucking pebbles at trains. Teddy was doing the same thing. I forgot what Nico was doing, but Brian was right up there. He was right on
the top of the train.
And he was just graffitiing all over this thing, right?
There was a cop car driving directly towards us, and this isn't one of those things where like there's branches and trees in the way. Teddy is sitting there watching this car at a distance. It was pretty far at the time when he first seen it. We could have all left and got away. But he's staring at the car come down. By the time the car stopped and pulled over, he finally says, guys, there's a cop here.
No, actually, he said, Brian, finish up.
Yeah, he stopped. Brian, finish up. The cops are here.
I was scared. This is my first encounter. This was my first encounter with a cop. Nico was like contemplating like dipping under one of the trains and just ditching us like.
No, I wasn't gonna ditch anybody. I sat there trying to tell them, let's go, let's leave. It was one cop. And
yeah, but the thing is, I was the fattest one there. I was the slowest one there.
Hence why when I said run, he should have ran.
I would have been the first, probably the only person he caught.
He stopped us, pulled us down, sat us on the tracks, and we're all thinking we were going to get written up or something. And I actually did feel bad for Matt because he really was afraid.
We're all sitting down on the tracks. He took our big bag of markers, took all our markers off of us. Apparently Teddy hid some in his shoes. He's going down, he's like, hey, you. He's going down the line, what's your graffiti name? And you know, Brian gives him a graffiti name, and then he writes it down. Then he goes to Teddy. He's like, what's your graffiti name? Teddy gives the graffiti name. I'm all the way at the end, and I'm sweating bullets. Like, and I didn't even do nothing wrong. I was just...
He was there with us.
I was just an accessory to the crime. Like, I didn't do nothing wrong.
He bought the markers.
They get Nico and they ask him, and I'm like, I was about to cry really bad. And he was like, you, big guns, come here. I was like, yes, officer. He's like, you, what's your graffiti name? I was just so nervous. He's like, what's your graffiti name? I was like, I don't have one yet. I'm crying. I was like, please.
Don't tell my mom.
Don't tell my mom.
The thing is that with Matt, he was one of those criers where it sounded like he was suffocating. Please don't tell mama.
Tell my mama.
And the cop was laughing. Like he's sitting there laughing at us the whole time. I felt bad. I'm like, oh, I brought him into this and I knew he was going to react this way, kind of like.
And then the cops started putting pressure on us.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to take you guys downtown. I'm going to take you
To the big pen.
The big pen, you guys are going to have to sit and think in a jail cell next to a guy named Bubba. And think about what y'all done.
Think about what Bubba's gonna do.
And I was like, please don't do it. And Brian and Seti and Nico, they're like, we don't care, whatever. And I'm like, no, please.
You guys should care. You should care about this. So Bubba's gonna get us.
He was bluffing, and I think out of pity, the dude just let us go. He written us up. He got our information. I think he called our moms.
Call my mom.
He called my mom.
Gave him a wrong number.
I just was too naive. I didn't know better to give alias numbers and all that. I actually gave him my information. I just remember that day when we got back, peeked my head into my front door. I'm like, Mom? Why is she in here? I just remember, like, every time the phone rang, I was like, oh no!
You know what story we used to tell as far as cops go? Now there's just us two here, actually.
What?
When we went to go see the Kevin Smith movie.
A couple months ago. This is more recent. We're more smoother and suaver with our thing. I've dealt with multiple cops by that time. We was just smooth with it, right? Kevin Smith had a premiere in Philadelphia. It was
Yoga Hosers.
And we got tickets. Me, Nico, and Nick were on our way downtown to go watch the premiere. We were like looking for parking heavy. The parking was just horrible downtown.
As it always is in downtown.
And we're sitting there searching all over the place. Nico pulls a Yui. There's like a line of traffic behind us waiting to go by, and we're doing this Yui, and like maybe 8 cars down, a cop car was right there, and he hit the siren. He's like, we already did the U-turn. We already was caught in the act. And I was like, yo, Nico, listen, go right to the bull.
Confront him head on.
Address him first.
I drive up. I roll the window down. I'm like, officer, like, we're not from Philadelphia. We're not from Pennsylvania. Where's Chestnut Street? And he's like, you want to go right behind you, straight down. I'm like, thank you so much. Like, as soon as he pulled off, there's like a parking spot literally right there. That was like the most recent.
And then another time, I was with my friend Kamani. I went with him to his uncle's mechanic shop. He was getting his car fixed. While he was getting his car fixed, he left his lights on while it was getting fixed. So his battery died, and we were waiting there for hours for his battery to charge. Oh, I was with my nephew Anthony. He came back from leave. He was in the military. He came back to visit. He was like 20 at the time, and he had a bottle of alcohol with him, and he was drinking the whole time. Like, he was drinking heavy. So we're in the mechanics waiting for the car to charge. Anthony's passed out drunk in the front seat. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. Me and Kamani decide to go to Checkers to get something to eat. This was around the time of 2012 when the world was supposed to end, and I was like really paranoid. Like, at that time, I carried like a steak knife on me, like a fold knife, pocket knife, all types of knives. I was carrying 3-4 knives on me. This was the night of the world was supposed to end, and we went out to get this done, so I brought some knives with me, you know, just in case something went down. Yeah, you know what I mean? We get Checkers. We're parked like somewhere on the side behind of a building. The car is running, but we turn off the lights. We didn't want to turn off the car in fear of it might not turn back on and we'll be stuck out there. Anthony's still in the front seat, passed out drunk, with a bottle in between his legs. The cop pulls right up on us, right? They flash the flashlight into it. I'm scoffing. I'm killing this bag of Checkers, dog. I'm like, I had fries in my mouth. I turned with fries sticking out my mouth. I was like, with fries sticking out my mouth. Kamani rolled down the window, and he's like, can I help you, officer? He's like, yeah, what y'all doing back here? Y'all suspicious. What y'all doing back here? What's going on with your boy over here? Is he sleeping? I was like, yeah, man, he's tired, dog. It's like 2 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. He's sleeping.
What are you doing out 2 o'clock in the morning?
There was an open bottle between his legs. They told him, like, keep your hands where I can see him, fat man. I dropped my burger. I was like this. And I was like, can I get a drink? I'm thirsty. Okay, let me just get a slurp. They're interrogating Kamani. And Kamani's like, I want to speak to your commanding officer. I want to speak to the man in charge. Can I get your ID number? All that. They're giving him a tough time. The bull's asking me, like, what's going on with your buddy over here? And they're flashing a light in his face. Anthony's not waking up. They're banging on the window. He's like, not waking up. Let me wake him up. I'm shaking him. Wake up, dog. Wake up. He's like, huh? Yo, he looked so scared with the flashlight. They pulled Kamani out. Handcuffed him. They pushed him up against the car, being very forceful. Pull me out. I get out. They're like, you got any weapons on you? I said, I got 4 knives on me, dog, right now. Right? They're like, 4 knives? Yeah, there's one in this pocket, that pocket, the inner pocket of my jacket, and in my back pocket. He's like, what do you got all these knives for? I said, sir, today's supposed to be the end of the world. I'm paranoid. And they laughed at me, but they saw the seriousness in my face. Like, and they were like, oh. Alright, so you put my knives on top of the hood. Kamani is handcuffed, sitting down already. I just sit down. Like, they didn't even handcuff me. They pulled Anthony out of the car. They're like, what's going on? Like, and Anthony's like, he starts moving on him. He's like, yeah, you know, I just got home from leave, and, you know, I'm just visiting my family. I was, you know, having a good time with my uncle and my friend. Gives him his military ID. Anthony didn't even have to sit down. They're like, you know he's underage, right? I was the only person of age in that car. I would have got prosecuted really bad for having an open container in the car. They took 2 of my knives, tossed them in the dumpster, gave me my knives back. Once they found out Anthony was in the military, they started treating us right. They still treated Kamani like crap. They send us on our way. They give Anthony back the bottle of alcohol. They go, thank you for your service. You deserve it.
Where is he?
Every
single time we're going to do something, he takes forever.
He told me he was right around the corner, and that was like 15 minutes ago.
Finally, come in.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome our guest, Dave.
One of our best buddies. This couch ain't big enough. This couch ain't big enough. But we'll figure it out.
I can't be seen right now.
Alright, Matt, listen to me. Don't get upset. Okay? We actually spoke about this before you came over. We were talking about on the phone the other day, and we knew this couch situation would happen. Being that you're the biggest one, you should probably sit on the floor.
No, this is my house. You know what? Let's do this the democratic way. Let's all take a vote. Everybody for Nico sitting on the floor, raise your hands. Everybody for Dave sitting on the floor, raise your hands. Everybody for me. No, I ain't sitting on the floor.
Dude, it's okay. It's alright.
It's my house.
I get that.
This is my couch.
I get that.
I paid $75 for that couch.
That's
How
what's
much
up.
did you put in for that couch? How much?
What is it?
How much did you put in for that couch?
Who voted for Matt on the floor? Unanimous decision.
I am a man of equality, and if I'm voted on the floor, I guess I'll sit on the floor.
We're gonna get into the story now. Promise you guys the extra story with Dave. Now Dave's here. This is the guy.
One incident of our cop experience.
Escapades?
Yeah, escapades.
That's a good one.
And
We're always gonna make it work.
us 3 guys in a car, we went to McDonald's.
Matt Watt at the time was a huge conspiracy
I
theorist.
still am.
And at the time, he feared the Illuminati. So we're sitting there, and we weren't even talking about the Illuminati at the time. We were just talking. Matt comes up and brings it up. I admired his deepness into it. I admired the fact that he really took the time to research this stuff.
I was paranoid. It was really affecting my life. I just had to share it with my friends. So I was telling them facts. I was putting out facts out there, and we was having a big discussion. Secret societies, different secret societies and stuff like that. And we were talking about conspiracy theories. Mind you,
We were there for about 3 hours.
few hours go by. To be honest, at the time, none of us noticed that there was a cop car.
Circle in the air.
Like, it kept frequenting around us. Every, like, 10 minutes, a cop would drive right by. Eventually, I think we had to leave.
But the moment we pulled out and we hit the red light, it literally happened in a flash. Like, there was about 5 cop cars. And I'm telling you, there was a SWAT truck there, and they swarmed on us. We were
Yeah.
terrified. They came out with shotguns.
Shotties, all that. They, like, parked up on the sidewalk, everything. They came out, like, put your hands over there!
Yeah. Matt's like, the Illuminati, they're Hermes.
Put your hands on the dashboard, fat boy!
Don't take your hands off that wheel. And he's in the back, he's like, yes, sir.
They still have the guns pointed at us. Take our IDs.
And we hear their walkie-talkie go off. You got the wrong car. The Sonata's red. And they realize their mistake, and it had to be like something out of a drama movie.
We got the wrong guy. We're so sorry for any inconvenience or anything.
Did we scare you?
They pulled off faster than they pulled up on us.
I take Dave back home at the time, and I'm driving Matt to his house at the time, and we went out of our way because we were so
We
afraid.
avoided the cops.
I was terrified. He was scared too. When they left, he was relieved.
With or without you,